name is Nancy Cañas. I am a native to DC, a proud Salvadoreña. I am a lesbian, I am a mom, a daughter, a sister, a wife, and I'm a licensed DC cosmetologist. I was 7 years old, right? And everyone's like, well, how do you know you're 7? And the best way I describe it is, it wasn't a sexual thing, you know, because we're kids, but I knew that I liked another little girl, but I also knew that I couldn't say that because it's what you, I guess, is what you now looking back. I think it was a combination of what you see in TV, your mom and dad, and so seeing you liking another little girl. I already knew that was not okay, I guess. So I was 7. 17, and I was 17 years old when I met my ex-husband, the dad of my kids. And, you know, I kind of just was married in a relationship for 12 years until it ended. And then just one day it's like, oh, this makes sense. I was early 30s, and then I wasn't worried about anybody thinking anything, you know. So my coming out story is a little bit different. Latino or Latinx now is the women's night at a club in DC. And I remember seeing her across the bar, and I remember seeing her, and I was like instantly attracted. I was like, oh, who's that? And my mutual friend is, oh, I know them. And so I remember walking over, or with her walking with this friend over to introduce, que me iba a presentar a las, eran como 4 o 5 lesbianas que estaban ahí. She was really nice. She's like, oh, and she danced. And so I was like, oh my God, this is perfect, because I feel like I can never find somebody else that likes to dance as much as I do. But it took me 11 months to finally get her to kind of come out, because she's always been really dedicated to her job. And so I sent her a message. I was like, oh, I'm going to be here. You should come out to this party. And she did. Y después de eso, I couldn't get her off my back. It just, and that was it. That was the end of the story. So what happened is my ex told them. And so then they would come back and like, oh, Papi said this. And so as they got a little older, eventually, we had to sit down, and at this point, Anna and I had been together for maybe 3-4 years. And I said, so yeah, what your dad said is true. I'm not going to embarrass you at school or anything, don't worry. I mean, I wanted to know how they felt. And, what was interesting is they were like, yeah, we kind of know, Mom, but it's okay. You don't have to worry about it. And when I came into the scene, or the gay scene, or when I came out, one thing that I started doing was, there was a queer burlesque troupe. And so it was in the lesbian bar in DC. It was phase 1, and we used to do burlesque shows. They heard about it and they reached out. So they threw a message. I remember like almost falling out of my bed, because it was performing during DC Latino or Latinx Pride. And so that's how it started. I then found out about the Latino GLBT History Project that puts on DC Latino Pride, or now Latinx Pride. And after that, I just started, volunteering with them, and eventually joined the board, and eventually now run the organization. But if I could go back, I would say, stop fighting, stop being so rebellious, I would say, and just kind of go with the flow. I would actually say, listen to your dad.